Uh, okay, so I'm going to make use of this my first Hibernate app. Okay, and here, so in this DTO, let me create a DTO. Okay, so I'm going to create a new DTO. Let me take an example of okay. 1 second. Okay, guys, I want to take a simple example. Like 1 second. I want to take an example of a bank. Okay, so or a bank account. I'm going to give the class name as account. Okay, so I'm going to give the class name as account. ACCOUNT. Okay, and then let me create a class under my DTO. Okay, so not DO, guys. I'm going to create under DTO. Okay, cool. So because like it's an entity class, I'm going to create an entity class. Okay. Okay. So basically in the account, what are the things will be there? So one is like account ID will be there, right? So first let me make this account as an entity. Okay. So let me make this account as an first entity. Yeah. So I've made this as an entity. And then let me okay. So in this account entity, so we will be having some ID, right? Int ID. Okay. Then the name. Okay. So for whom I'm going to create a account. Okay. So string name. Okay. And address will be there. Right. String address. Right. And we will be having create date time. Okay. So we will be having something called like create. So which day and at what time this account has been created. Okay, to store that value, I'm going to make use of a local date and time. Okay, local date and time. This is a class. Okay, so this local date and time is a class which is present under a package something called a java.time. Okay, I'm going to just make use of this local date and time, and then I will be giving the column name as created. One second. Created date time. Okay, so created date and time. Then I need to oh yeah. So let me have this one. These are the details. Okay. So in this, I need to make any one of the field as primary key. Okay. So let us go for making ID as a primary key. Okay. So let me create at the rate ID as a primary key, and let me add one more column in this that is like users email string email. Okay, so now guys, okay, tell me. Okay, so these are the fields. Okay, so now I need to add getters and setters and no parameterized constructor for this. Okay, so let me add that no parameterized constructor. I'm going to add a no parameterized constructor here. Okay. Then let me add getters and setters for all the fields like ID, name, email address, create, date, time. Let me add getters and setters. Now I'm going to do, yeah. So generate getters and setters, select all, generate. Okay, so that's all. Okay, so these are the field. Like, see, you can see, I just added one no argument constructor, getters and setters for my fields. Okay, so all the fields. Now, so like, can I go for auto generate the ID? Guys, like, can I go for providing or going for the auto generate the ID? Yeah, to auto generate, Hibernate will provide an annotation. Okay, so Hibernate is going to provide me an annotation. The annotation is something called as like generated value. Okay, so it is okay. So it is going to provide an annotation, something called as like generated value, and here we need to pass the strategy. Okay, so I'm informing my Hibernate. Okay, so Hibernate, you need to go for auto generate. Okay, so okay, Hibernate will okay, I will go for auto generate. But what is the strategy? So on which basis I need to auto generate? Okay, to inform that we have a strategy, something called as identity. Okay, so it will generates me a unique identity value for all the integer. Right? Okay, so for all integers, it is going to generate me a value. Okay, then okay, now I need to inform or I need to make this email field as unique. Okay, I need to inform this email field as unique. Before that, I need to make this column name. Okay, so I need to make this column name as email ID. So in my Java it will be email, but with respect to my RDBMS application, okay, the column name must be email ID. How to do that one, guys? If I want to change the column name, did I inform that like about the column name and table name? Is yeah, did I inform that in the previous session about column name and table column? Yeah, then fine. Okay, yeah, then okay. So to make this email column as a call email ID, okay, I will be making use of an annotation, something called as column, and then here I need to pass the name attribute. And what is the name I want to make for this particular email ID? Okay, email underscore ID. And now also I need to make this field as unique. I said okay, I need to make this field as unique. To make that field as unique, okay, I have to inform my Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate set a unique okay, so you create a unique column. Okay, to inform that in this column annotation, okay, so we have another strategy that is like unique. Okay, so we have another attribute called as unique, and here we need to pass. Okay, so we need to enable the uniqueness. If you want to enable the uniqueness, just make it as true. Okay, so just unique equal to true. So it is going to take the boolean value and just set unique equal to true. So here just we are enabling uniqueness of that field, particular field, unique value I am going to enable. Okay, I am informing my Hibernate. Okay, Hibernate, you need to go for create a email ID table, email underscore ID. That is the column name. Sorry, yeah, that is the column name you need to create. And here you need to make this column as unique. Okay, and one more thing. Okay, so I have a field like created date and time. Okay, so I have a field like create a date and time. So here we can also like see what is the field like, what is the value I am going to store in that field. So when that account has been created. So when that account has been created means like at the time only that when I'm going to create an object, that is like taking a input from the user, I will be creating the object, right? So if I'm going to take the input from the user and then going to create an object means at that time only the particular account has been opened or a particular account I am going to create, right? So whenever I'm going to create an object, at the time in a time object or for this variable like created date and time, it has to be injected automatically. Okay, so no need to create a local date and time object, then we need to inject. That is also okay, but we have, so that is also we can perform, but instead of that we can use an annotation, something called as like creational timestamp, which helps us to create an time. Okay, so it is going to like whenever we are going to create an object of this particular class, at that time in local date and time object will be created, and that value, okay, so what is the time and date value will be there, that will be injected to my created date and time, and that value will be stored inside my database if I am going to store this object. Okay, so first I will be using that annotation. Okay, I'm going to make use of that annotation at the time creational timestamp. Okay, so which helps me to create the local date and time whenever I'm going to create the object for this particular account, guys. See guys, I'm using an annotation, something called as generated value, and I'm passing the strategy. Okay, so Hibernate, you need to generate a value. Whenever I'm going to create an object for this particular account class. Okay, so whenever I'm going to create an object for this account class, you need to generate a automatic field ID. And that must be identical. Okay, so that must be unique and identical value you need to generate. Then I'm informing my Hibernate one more thing. Okay, so here you can see I'm using an annotation at the red column. So here we can perform many operations. In that we are performing two operations. One is just I'm changing the column name from email to email ID. Okay, so from email to email ID I'm changing, and then I'm making this column as a unique so that I can insert only the unique value of the email ID of a users. And then so I need to have a field whenever I'm going to create an account for a particular user. At the time that date and time has to be stored in my database. Okay, so for that I'm making use of another annotation, something called as like creation time stop. Okay, so creation time stop, which helps me to create a time local date and time object whenever I'm going to create this particular account object. Okay, so let us try to insert and check. Okay, so let us write a DAO layer and try to insert and check what happens. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create. Okay, so guys, I'll do one thing. So you guys create this. Okay, so create an account, use these fields, create a DAO, just go for perform the save operation and let me know. Check inside the database and let me know whether the thing is working as I said or not. And no need to set the ID. Okay, so let me show, then you can perform it. Okay, so better I will show once. Account, I'm going to create a on the DAO account DAO. Okay, inside this let me have the fields like entity manager factory equal to positions not create entity manager factory, and then I need to pass which fine. Then entity manager equal to factory dot create manager. Then transaction also I required transaction equal to manager dot get transaction. Fine, done. Let me have a method like sorry, public method. Okay, so the return type of this method, I'm going to make a return. I'm going to give a return type of this method as. Okay, no need to have return type. Okay, so you can give a return type, not an issue, or else you can skip that. Okay, so just I will go for give a method name as save account, save account, and here I will make this method to accept the account object. Okay, account. Okay, so then I will begin the transaction dot begin, then go for transaction that persist. Sorry, not transaction, guys. Manager. So entity manager dot persist account object, then commit the transaction. Okay, so commit the transaction. Okay. Now let me create a service layer for this, and there I will write a logic to save. Oh, yeah. So save the operation. Let's see. Creation of an object and all I will perform that. Okay, so service. Let me create a package service. Then click finish. Let me have a main method here and go for create a account object. Account account equal to new account and new account, and then I will use this account dot set. Okay, ID automatically that will be created. Okay, so now let me set a name for this account. I'm going to give the name as Binga. Okay, then account dot set email ID for that. Okay, so I'm going to set the email ID as Binga at the rate ABC company. Okay, so he's working in ABC company and dot in. And then account dot set. Let me set the address. Okay, so let me set the address. Address I want to set a set for Binga is Bangalore. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, that's all. Like I'm not going to set the like set the values for created date and time, and I'm not going to set the values for ID also. Okay, so let me see what happens. Okay, so let me see what happens after performing this persistence. Okay, so here I'm going to write an SOP statement. I'm going to write okay, so account details are okay. So now let me try to print account ID, account plus sorry account dot get ID. Okay, so plus yeah, so plus yeah. Now let me give that account dot get created time. Okay, so these are the two fields I'm not setting. Let me see. Okay, so after saving, what happens? We are going to see. Okay, yeah, done. Then fine. Okay, so now let me create a object for the account DAO, and I will give the reference variable name as DAO, which is equal to new account DAO. Then on this DAO, I'm going to invoke a method like save account details and pass the account object. Okay. So now, guys, I will first open my MySQL. Let me check what is the table I have given. One sec. Let me see what is the table I have given here in my Hibernate. Okay, so DAOs. Yeah. So under resource, under meta NF, what is the name of the table I have given? Sorry, not table. database. Okay, guys, I have given the database name as Hibernate Basic. Let me copy this. Come back to my service. Okay, yeah. So it is opening. My workbench is launching. Okay, so get that. Cool. So pass the row password. Enter the password here. Now I will give a search. Okay, so I'm going to search for the database and let me see how many tables are there here. Oh, why what happened? Okay, so only two call tables are there. One is car and another one is student. Let me create. Let me see. Okay, so let me run this program. I'm going to run my service layer, run as Java, and see what is that output I'm going to receive. Okay, so table created. Okay, guys, did I give the ID? No, right? See, automatically an ID has been created, and this is what the date. Okay, 10th March 2023. Okay, so 2023 third 10th, and you can see the time 7 o'clock 36 minutes 42 second, and this is the millisecond, right? Okay, now let us see. And here you can see, guys. Okay, so create a table account ID of type integer, not null, and it is giving auto increment. Okay, so it is giving auto increment. Then address varchar of so and so characters. Created date time with data time. Okay, sorry, date time. Okay, so it is going to give you six characters can be stored, and email ID varchar name varchar primary key ID. Okay, but while creating the table, it is not going to set the table as okay, so for that particular email column as null, not null, right? So then it is going to set alter account drop index, so and so it is dropping, and then table add constraint. Okay, so constraint, add a constraint, and so it is passing, and then it is setting as a unique. Okay, so it is making email ID as a unique value, guys. Okay, so it is making email ID as a unique. So now let us see in the database. Okay, so yeah, you can see I got a account with the name as sorry, I got a table with the name as account. Okay, so let me see. You can see here, so these are the fields. Okay, so ID, address, created date and time, email ID, and name. Okay, so these are the fields. Now let me see what are the values are present in this account. So if I run, yeah, you can see ID, I didn't give automatically. It is only taking. Okay, so address Bangalore, created date and time. I am also not mentioning the date and time. At what time, or what date, what is the time it has been created, and email ID. Okay, so yeah, email ID I have given. Okay, then name. Now I will try to save one more field. Sorry, one more object. Okay, I'll change the name from Dinga to Dingy, and email ID I'm going to change to Dingy. Okay, and location for Bangalore I will make it as Mangalore. Okay, then I will go for just save. Okay, yeah, I will go for click on the like run this class. Yeah, so you can see inserted into account address, create date and time, so on, so values, and then you can see ID has been given as 2. And if you see the date and time, okay, so date is same, time if you see just observe the time. Here you can see 07 means sorry 7 o'clock 39 minutes and 46. Previously the dingas. Okay, so now let me run this and see. Yeah, so Dinga's detail was created at 7 o'clock 36 minutes. Dingy's detail has been created at 7 o'clock 39 minutes. So now guys, you try to execute. Okay, so this is the entity class I will be displaying for you. Create a DAO. Okay, so there no need to inject the value for ID, no need to inject the value for created date and time. Just inject the value for name, email, address. Okay, and then try to save and let me know once you guys have completed. Guys, you write a logic to work with the DAO guys. Just perform the save operation. Create, begin the transaction, manager.persistence, and then commit the transaction. That's all. That's what has to be done in the account DAO. Guys, everyone executed. Okay, fine, cool. So got the output, got to know how to use generated value and all. Okay. So guys, I want to give you a project on this Hibernate. Okay, so there are like I can give you two projects. I will share that. I want you guys to sit and work on those things. Okay, so by using this mapping bidirectional and all. Okay, so you need to use this bidirectional mapping, and you need to complete that one. So you need to see, okay, so where we can go for bidirectional, where we can go for unidirectional. You just analyze and let me know. Okay, I will give that the UML diagram or whatever the things that just I will try to draw here, and you guys can utilize that one. Okay, now I will share this paint file. Okay, so now let me go for drawing the UML diagram. Okay, so there is an application. Okay, so you can design can we start ID from our desired values? No, like anytime it is going for starting with the one only. If you want to start, then you need to go for something called as like custom ID generator that will deals. Okay. Yeah. So guys, let me create a project. Okay, you guys need to create. These are the two projects I am going to give. Okay, so one is the project name. You can give it as like food app, food application. Okay, you can give the project name as food application. One sec, guys. Okay, guys, you can just create the project name as you can give the project name as food application. Okay, so inside this food application, you guys need to have entities like, okay, so you need to go for created DTO classes like this. Okay, so there will be one second. Sorry. Yeah. So let me create the entries. Okay. So one, there is a user. Okay, so user class. Okay, so inside this or user entity, inside this, you guys need to have the fields like ID. Okay, then you guys need to have the fields like name. Then you guys need to have email, then password. Okay, password. Then gather the user phone number. Then you need to have the role. Okay, so here you can give the role as user role as one is admin. Okay, and manager. Okay, then staff. Okay, so these are the roles you can make use of it. Okay, so this is one entity you can create and add constructor getters and setters to this class and then complete that. Guys, do you have any doubts in this user class? Good. Then the next class or next entity what we can have is, okay, so just let me put a box here. Fine, good. So user, then let me put a customer. Okay, so customer, and then I'm going to give the ID for that customer. Okay, name of the customer, then email of the customer, then phone number of the customer. Okay. Okay, so you need to create one more entity called as customer. Okay, so there the field will be like ID, name, email, phone number. So you might have asked, okay, so why I need to create again one more customer with these fields? I can have those details in the user class only. Okay, the thing is like, okay, if I'm going to give the role as customer and assume so the manager wants to purchase any like food from that from our application, then he will be logging in, or he will be the manager. Okay, so we cannot gather the details like a customer. Okay, so and we like if we design a proper user interface there, he cannot like enter he cannot, so we cannot gather the details again the managers to make it as a customer. That will be difficulty. Okay, to avoid that only I'm going to create a one more entity called as customer. Okay, so that is the thing, that is the reason I'm going with the customer, guys. Okay, then this is the one more entity we need to have. Okay. Okay. Now it comes. Okay. So now let me go for create a class, something called as item. Okay. So now, sorry. Now let me go for create a class called as item. Okay. So now let me go for 1 second, guys. Multicast. Okay. So now let me create a class called as item, where particular ID will be there. Okay, so for all the items, ID will be there. Then name of that item. Okay, then the quantity. What is the quantity the customer wants? Okay, for that item, and what is the price? Okay, so what is the cost of that item? So guys, here item is nothing but like, okay. For example, if you go for any yeah, so suppose no options. One second. Like, okay. Suppose assume that you are going for a Domino's. They are going to give a list. Okay, so there are variety pizzas will be there, and other options also they will provide. Right. So that is what. Okay. So items are nothing but okay. So the food items which are present. Okay, the food items which are available in that particular shop. Okay, so what is the name for that food item? Okay, so you need to give a name and the quantity. Okay, so quantity will be like, okay, so will be calculated like what is the quantity. Like user wants to have pizza, 4 pizza or 3 pizza, that depends. Okay, and the price. Okay, so you just need to give the price as okay, so the price will be what is, so one pizza's price you need to enter. Okay, so you need to give the one pizza's price. Okay, so quantity let it be 4, but the cost you enter for particular one pizza. Okay, or else okay, so you can give total like 4 pizza. What is the cost? You can enter here, not an issue. Okay, so that will be not an issue. You can enter here, and then okay. So now let me. Yeah, so this is the field. These are the fields will be available in the item. Just go for constructor and getters and setters also here. Okay, so don't forget to add that constructors and getters and setters. Okay, so add constructors and getters and setters here, guys. Then we must have one more class. Okay, so we must have one more class, something called as like food order. Okay, so food order. Okay, so food order where we need to give. Okay, so we need to add ID for that food order particularly. Okay, and so when this order was taken. Okay, so ordered date, and you need to gather the time also. Okay, so when this order was taken, and then status of the order. Okay, so you need to have the status of the order, like, okay, so whether order is like in preparing, okay, our order has been served. Okay, that status you need to add. Okay, then in this food order you will be having a list of items. Okay, so you will be having a list of items. Okay, so list of items. Okay, so you will be having a list of items, and then you will be having something called as like total cost. Okay, so total cost. Okay, so for each item there will be a price, right? For each item there will be a price. So for that price, okay, so you need to gather, or you need to write a total cost. Okay, so you need to write a logic there. So is that clear, guys? You can go for creating a project on food application. Okay, so in this you have only one relation, guys. That is not a big deal. Okay, so you can make. I hope you can create this one easily. Yes, cool. Okay. Similarly, now you can go for creating one more project. Okay, that is, you can give the name of that project as. Okay, so yeah, you can go for give a name as hospital app. Okay, and in this project. Okay, so guys, in this project, you need to have the fields or something like, okay, you need to create an entity, something called as like hospital. Okay, so you need to create an entity called as hospital. Okay, so here you only decide what are the fields must be present. Okay, so you guys can take a now you guys can just take. Okay, so once again, so you guys just go for taking an what I can say that. Decide. Okay, so you guys just decide what are the fields must be present for this particular hospital. Okay, so for this hospital class, what are the fields you guys can create? Okay, there is something called as hospital will be there. Okay, then so okay, and then there is something called as like branch. Okay, so we will be having a particular branch for that particular hospital. Okay, so we will be having a branch for that particular hospital, and the relationship between the hospital and branch. Okay, so now we need to have a relationship between hospital and branch, guys, here. Okay, so now we need to have a relationship between this hospital and branch. Let us go for creating that relationship. Okay, you guys tell me what will be the relationship between this branch and hospital? Patient. One to many. So one hospital can have many branches. Good. ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Okay. So here we need to have a relationship that is like, okay, let it be. So what is the relationship? As you guys said, okay. So here one hospital will have many branches. Okay, so one hospital will have many branches, right? So the relationship with hospital have more branches like, yeah, hey guys, Prem Kaur not like that. See, if you take the Apollo, okay, in Bangalore only, if you take the Apollo, so Apollo is also present in Jainagara. Okay, Apollo is also present in Yeshwantpura. That the location based on that location, whatever like you said, cardiology, orthology, that is a department. Okay, so inside that, that is department, not an branch. We cannot say that that is a branch. Okay. Okay, so one hospital will have a number of branches, one to many. Okay, then assume that I need to gather the address. Okay, so to gather the address, I'm going to create. Okay, so one more entity called as address. Okay, so I will be creating one more entity called as address. So now tell me, if I want to create a relationship between branch and address, what will be the relationship will be there? I need you guys to answer. So what will be the relationship between branch and address, guys? What about others? Only one candidate is answering. So one branch can have how many address? Only one address, right? Yeah. So then the relationship between branch and, okay, so the relationship between branch and address will be 1 to 1. The relationship between branch and hospital will be, okay. So 1 to 1. I will be mentioning here, guys. 1 to, sorry, 1 to 1. One branch will have one address. Okay. So this is one part. Then we have one other. Okay. So now come to the patient perspective. Okay. So now let us come to the patient perspective. That is like, okay. So assume that we have a person. Okay. So that he is the patient. Okay. So person. Okay. So now let me add a. Okay. So there is a person, and person will visit to the branch if he got sick, right? So if he got a sick and then assume that it is a severe sickness, then he has to encounter to the hospital, right? So he has to encounter to the hospital, or else like he need to get admitted to the hospital. Yes or no, guys? So at the time, what happened? Okay, so let us have the person details also. Okay, and let us create an entity, something called as encounter. Okay, so now we need to create an entity, something called as encounter. Encounter. Encounter is nothing but if a person is admitted to the particular hospital. Okay, so just we are gathering the details of inside the hospital, guys. Okay, so we are creating this hospital app to gather the or have a uh, details of inside the hospital. If the person is get admitted, then only we will be going to create person details. Okay, so we are going to save the person details, and then we are going to register the encounter, and then give medicine, med data, everything we will gather. Okay, so we can have that one. So in that encounter, so tell me, okay, so guys, tell me, one person can have how many encounters? One person can have only one encounter. Really? See, one person can have many encounters. Okay, so he will go for, like, assume that in a, yeah, eight. Okay, so you will go in a month of January. Okay, so he got sick. Okay, so assume that he got sick for fever, and then he just visited the hospital in the month of January, and then later he got to know. Okay, so he is not like he is having a okay, so he's having a similarities or functions like the dengue dengue features are there. Then he will be get admitted, and then he will get cured in the month of January, and then he'll come back. And after 1 or 2 months, okay, so in the month of March, okay, so he again visit the hospital. Okay, so saying that he's having a severe pain in his stomach, and then while going for the checkup, he got to know, okay, so there is some like, okay, so there is some huge problem in his stomach. So again he will get admit. Okay, so and then like similarly, okay, so you may get sick, and then you can get admitted to the hospital many times. Okay, one person can admit to the hospital many times based on the different sickness. Okay, so illness. Okay, so you can admit to the hospital different times. So that if I gather those information, then we can have a relationship between person and encounter. Okay, so in the hospital we are going to make use of this encounter, right? So then we can have a relationship between the person and encounter is one to many. Okay, so one person can have many encounters, guys. Okay, so usually one person can have many encounters. So one person can have many encounters. So now let me create a relationship between these two. Okay, so the relationship is something like, okay, so one person. Okay, so person is one. One person will have many. Okay, so one person will have many. Okay, so one person can have many encounters. Okay, so one person can have many encounters. That will be the relationship between this person and encounter. Now, if I want to create a relationship between encounter and branch, okay, okay, so if I want to create a relationship between encounter and branch, how many encounters a branch can have? Many, right? So one branch can have more encounter. That means like more patients can be admitted to the hospital. So then the relationship between, again, this branch. Okay, so the relationship between branch and encounter will be like, okay, sorry. So the relationship between branch and encounter will be uh, one branch can have many encounters, right? So one branch can have many encounters. Okay, so again in the encounter it will be many, and coming towards the branch it will be one. Okay, so one branch can have many encounters, guys. So that's what I have. Yeah, so one branch can have many encounters. Okay, now so let me go for add another two entities class. Can okay, and I will be adding another two entities class, guys. Okay, so one is something called as like meta order, right? Order. Okay, so yeah, in this meta order. Okay, I'm going to create a meta order. Meta order is nothing but the medicines which a person is going to admit he will be getting to take. Okay, yeah, the or the details of the medicines will be taken for his taken care of it. Okay, tell me, guys. Once a person got admitted, how many medicines or a meta can be given for that person? The doctor can prescribe many medicines, right? So he can go for prescribe the like in day one he will observe his health condition, and then again he's going to check, right? So yeah, what happens again? So one encounter. Okay, so encounter one encounter will have many metadata. Okay, so one encounter will have again many metadata. Okay, so one encounter will have many metadatas. Okay, then one more entity I will add. Okay, so the last one, guys. That's all. Okay, that is like item or a medicines you can have. Okay, so that is nothing but yeah. Let me create an. Okay, so one metadata can have how many items? It can be any item, any number of items can be added to that medicine. Okay, so first he will doctor will check and write a prescription, and there he can add a metadata like okay, he can add a metadata. Okay, so first time he is going to give some medicine. Okay, so assume that two tablets has been given. Then the next day he will come and he will check. Okay, then again he is going to prescribe. Okay, so yeah, those two tablets are not working. Then he will give and you will change the prescription, right? So that is how. So but one metadata can have many items. Okay, so then the relationship between will be like here also one to many. Okay, so the relationship will be like one to many. One metadata will have many items. In one prescription we can get many medicines, right? So that's what. So based on this, can you create a project for this hospital app, guys? So in food application the relation is only one relation is there, that is like in the food order and item. So one food order will consist of many items are there, that's all. That is the only one relationship I have given in that food order. Yeah, one to many, one food order will have many items. Yeah, in you can go for bidirectional only, guys. Okay, so every not see uh yeah, go with the bidirectional, I will tell you. Okay, so go with the bidirectional only. not an issue. Just observe, okay. Like, see here. So yeah, hospital. When like yeah, I need to get the hospital details as well. Like whenever I'm trying to fetch the hospital detail, do I need to get the branch details also? Yes, right. So whenever I'm trying to fetch the hospital details, at the time I need to get the branch details. Similarly, when I'm trying to get the branch details, I need to know, okay, so this branch will belongs to which hospital. So here bidirectional is mandatory. Okay, so you need to have that bidirectional, then only the vice versa permitted. Then so when I'm going to fetch the branch, obviously address details will be getting, right. So I'm going to receive the address details also. But do I am going to check the address? Okay, so based on the address, I'm going to verify the branch. No, that is not like I'm not going to check with that on also, right? So here you can see. Okay, so in one to branch. Okay, so branch and address one to one unit. Sorry, one to one mapping is there. So there you can go for unidirectional. No need to go for the bidirectional. Now if I see whenever I want to fetch the person details, okay, so whenever I want to fetch the person details, I need to know, okay, so the list of encounters that has been taken by this person, okay, so whether how many times the person has been admitted to the particular hospital, I need to know. Then again and similarly vice versa, when I'm going to check the encounter, I need to know, okay, so this encounter for which person, then I need to go for bidirectional here, right. Yes or no? So similarly, if I take the branch and encoder, okay. So if I want to fetch the branch details at the time, I need to know, okay, the list of encounters was occurred in that branch, right? I need to know, okay, so in this branch, how many encounters are taken place? I need to know. Then again, okay. And similarly, when I'm trying to fetch the encounter details, at the time I need to know, okay, yeah, so in which branch this encounter has been taken. So at the time again I need to go for the bidirectional. Okay, just analyze the scenario, analyze the situation. Okay, and then go for bidirectional, unidirectional. I think like in this scenario, like we need to go for all these bidirectional except this branch and address. Okay, so from branch and address you can go for unidirectional. Except that all the things you can go for bidirectional, guys. Is that clear? Okay. Guys, do you have any doubts in this project, guys? Okay, so what are the fields or what are the diagram I have drawn? Do, do you have any doubts here? Okay, so let me create two projects and so this is food app. And okay, guys, see in the hospital you need to go for bidirectional for all the fields except this two. Okay, so branch and address go with the unidirectional. That's what I can say. Try to analyze. One second, guys.
Thank you. Hello, guys. Good morning. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Shweta from HR team. So today I'm here to announce few requirements here. Hope screen is visible. So here's the requirement for SQL developer. Requirement location, it is in Noida or Jaipur. And it is an online interview, guys. It is an online interview. Skills required is SQL certified students only. Okay, if you have done with your SQL, you can go ahead with this requirement. If no issues, guys, you have few more requirements, you can try with that. Okay, so your qualification should be BE, BTech, MCA, ME, MTech, and BCA, and your stream should be CS, IT, IS, EC. Year of passout must be 2022 and 23 only. Your percentage should be 60 percentage and above throughout your academics, without any backlogs. Your salary package will be during an internship period. It is 7,500 to 10,000, and trainee internship duration will be 4 months. And training stipend will be 13 to 15,000, and trainee duration is 4 months. After your internship and training, you will be getting 5 lakhs per annum, and 24 months of service agreement also is there. So guys, once you're done with your class, go through with the skills. Then if you are eligible for this requirement, you can get registered for this company. Done. Shall I move to next slide? Yeah. So here you have 4 more requirements. Take the screenshot of this also, guys. So once you're done with your class, go through with the requirements clearly. So in this slide, the first two requirements are generic requirements. Based on your degree, you can apply for this, and clients will also hire you on the basis of your degree only, not on your skills. Okay. So for today, we have a requirement for diploma students also. Is it done? Guys, shall I stop sharing the screen now? Yeah. So guys, as you know, for registration, you need to ping your name, contact number, along with the DLIM to the HRs. Okay. And they will register you to that particular company. So once your interview is scheduled, you will get a call from HRs. So after that you can attend the interviews. Okay, so till the time, have patience. Okay, so guys, any doubts? And guys, one more thing, we are starting Python Selenium on tomorrow at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It has been taken by Sunil sir. And guys, it is a weekend batch. It is a weekend batch. And we have other time slot also, like 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is also a weekend batch. So if there is any Java students, for Java students also we have a weekend batch, that is Selenium Java based. That is also we are starting on tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you want to attend these classes, you can attend it from tomorrow, and I'll be sharing with the class links. For diploma students, salary package is 10,000 per month during in the training period. The training period will be 3 months. Okay. So after that, you will get hike based on your performance. So yeah, that's it from my end, guys. Any doubts? No? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so wait one sec. Share this codes. Okay, cool. Ayo, yeah, sure. Why not? Guys, in the classroom, you can go through that. I have given these two project. Okay, I have assigned these two project for you all. Go through that. Okay, so go through that and try to complete by Monday. Okay, so I given a time, guys. You have a lot of time till Monday. You can submit, not an issue. Okay, so 30th, Monday night till Monday night. Okay, so you will be having like 3 days of time to complete this one. I don't think so that it will take that much of time. Okay, so if you sit and write the logic properly, so it will like maximum or around like 2 to 3 hours you need. Okay, as a freshers, you need 2 to 3 hours. It will take, and some exception, something happen means like around like another 2 hours. So hardly it will take 5 hours to complete the project, guys. So go through on that, complete it. Okay, so if you have any question, anything you can ask, not assignment. Guys, do you have any questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
So this strategy is equals to generation types of this. So why we use this?
Just I'm using, okay, so generated value that says Hibernate. Okay, so Hibernate has to go for auto increment, or it is going to automatically generate the ID. And to generate some strategy, we need to provide. Okay, so identical one or a unique value has to be generated. Okay, so for that, I'm going to mention, I'm going to informing my Hibernate. Okay, so I'm going to make you, you need to make use of a strategy that is like generation type must be identity.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Guys, you need to go for complete CRUD operation on that project, guys. Complete CRUD operation. Create, update, delete, read. Okay, so read based on the ID, read all the values. And guys, here, sir, yeah, I didn't show you that how that unique will works, right? So let me go to my service. I will change the name. Okay, so I want to change the name. I will go for Ranga. Okay. Instead of Ranga's mail ID, I will just give it as like Bingy mail ID only. Okay, so I'm not changing the mail ID of Ranga. I will go for Mysore. Then I saved this and try to run. See, I will end up with some exception. Yeah, I got an exception. Okay, so it says SQL integrity constraints violation exception, duplicate entry dingy at abc.in for key account blah, yeah, account UK something something it has given. So now by reading this, you guys must understand. Okay, so the exception you can see, yeah, so here you can see error duplicate entry. Okay, so it is saying that this is a duplicate entry for the particular column. Okay, so now what I need to do is come back to your service layer. Instead of dingy, just go with Ranga. Okay, and save this, run. Then it will be saved successfully and smoothly. You can see I will get an output, right? So unique value means only the unique. Okay, so identical value can be stored. That's what the unique. Okay, so it is working perfectly. Then guys, do you have any doubts? Do you have any questions? See, submitting procedure is nothing. Okay, so in the class or Google class, okay, so the assessment are there. Okay, so one side I will show you. Yeah, in the Google class, you can see the assessments are there, and the same assessments will be received to you in the form of a like class. Okay, there you can just click in and click go for view assessment. Okay, and if you view the assessment, you are not going to receive this thing. Okay, instead of that, this instruction, you'll be receiving this instruction in the below. Okay, so here you can get an option like add attachment. Okay, so attach doc, okay, attach document, something options will be there. Click on that, and similarly, okay, so how I am going to share the code, like that you can create a document, or else the Java files only you can just select and share to me. Anything is fine. Anything is fine, you can share anything, not an issue. Okay, Dikshita, what is the error you are getting?
Sir, I'm getting some error like it is not found, means null. Courses class is null. It is showing like that, sir.
Course class is null.
Yeah, sir. But the data is storing in the database. I can't see the output in the console, sir.
Okay, so in the like like you are trying to print, use the SQL statement and try to print something.
Yeah, sir.
Okay, which object, ma?
Course object, sir. Courses object. I'll send you the screenshot of that error, sir.
Yeah, okay. Many to many unidirectional, right?
No, sir. Bidirectional. Yesterday.
Bidirectional. Okay, sorry. Okay, so this is the implementation I was given,
Yeah, sir. The same implementation even I give.
and in the DTOs, did you check?
Yes, sir.
Course, this is the implementation I have, and for student, this is the implementation. And one thing, uh, in the service layer, did you just check? Okay, so student, set name, okay, price, course. I'm setting the course details, okay, and then I'm adding the students to that course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if I run this, yeah, I'm getting the output perfectly.
A
So for which,
like the problem is the data is storing in database, sir. Whatever the input I'm giving here, it will be stored in a database, but I can't see that on the console. I'll end up with some error in the console
while performing the save operation or while performing the fetch operation?
while performing the save operation, sir.
Oh, okay.
I have given different inputs and I checked, sir. It is giving me the same error.
Okay, send me the screenshot. We'll see.
Okay, sir.
But, the like, fetch operation in many to many again, like what I need to explain, Ram. So I'm fetching the details by using these DAOs, right? So if I see that, where is the declaration? Okay, yeah, nothing. Just I'm finding as usual like student details and as usual like the course details I'm fetching, right? See, based on the student, I'm fetching the student details. Based on the course, I'm fetching the course details. And in my service layer, I'm just trying to print the number of course belongs to this student and number of students belongs to this course. That's all. Okay, and guys, here I need to inform you one thing. Tomorrow, what difference we will in database? Huh? What difference? Hey, in database, like what is the difference you are going to see? If I performing fetch operation, no difference. But see, you can see. Okay, yeah, I need to show you that one also. Okay, let me show you the differences. Many. Okay, so many to many unidirectional. Okay, the example. What was the example we have taken? Oh, same output. Okay, show me one thing. Okay, so show me go for unidirectional for this course and student. Okay, so go for unidirectional for course and student. Any one side you go for unidirectional. Okay, you can remove this like the course side. You can just remove all the things. Try to fetch the student details from the course. If you are getting, let me know. The question was like similar to that, like listening the Ramayana story over all the night and early morning, and you are asking like, okay, so what is the relationship between Rama and Sita? So guys, see, okay, so guys, so tomorrow I'm not going to take any classes because like I'm traveling native place, and Monday morning also. Okay, I'm not sure that we can have a session on Monday morning. We can meet on Tuesday, guys. Okay, so that's all from my side. If you have anything, you can ask, or else like I'm going to end this session. Okay, have a nice day, guys. Take care. Bye. So we can see. No, one two topics are left. Okay, so in the Hibernate topics are left. Then we can start with the Spring. They're like IOC and Spring Boot. I'm going to complete in this batch in this session. Okay. Yeah. So that's all, guys. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.